We can't say exactly what will happen tomorrow, but we can forecast quite accurately what will occur over thousands of years. Here are just a few of the many things that will happen to our world by the year 3023. And stay until the end, because no one will surprise you. Number 10. Shifting continents. Plate tectonics has been reshaping the Earth for billions of years. As such, it shouldn't be surprising that the world of your great-great-great-grandchildren will look vastly different than the one we live in today. According to scientists, the Atlantic Ocean will become narrower as the Americas move closer to Europe and Africa. This means that eventually, the ocean will cease to exist, or at least the way we know it now. There are a number of other changes that will take place as well. For example, the Himalayas will become even larger. Meanwhile, the Alps will begin to crumble. Additionally, the Mediterranean Sea will most likely evaporate, turning it into a salty desert. If you want to see what the world might look like in the distant future, you should check out an interactive simulation that shows how the continents will change over the next 200 million years. It's amazing to see the changes and really makes you think about how we humans are just a very small part of this Earth, and that everything that we do will ultimately be meaningless as the planet itself will continue to shift and change long after we're gone. 9. Earth's climate cycle. Even if global warming isn't stopped, it doesn't mean that we'll experience infinite rising temperatures forever. The thing is that Earth's climate naturally changes over time. There are always warm periods followed by ice ages, and then new warm periods. For instance, the medieval warm period took place between the 9th and 13th centuries, when temperatures were higher than they are now. But then came the Little Ice Age, which lasted from the 14th to the 19th century, and was so cold that it affected human civilization, and even inspired famous works of art like the painting The Scream. Today, we're going through a warm period once again, but eventually, an ice age will arrive once more. So if you're tired of the heat, don't worry, you'll be able to tell your grandkids about the good old days when temperatures were in the 90s Fahrenheit. 8. Magnetic pole reversal. The Earth has a magnetic field that protects us from deadly cosmic radiation. This force field extends far beyond the planet's surface and is generated by the spinning of our planet and its molten iron core. The magnetic poles are where these energy lines converge. The problem is that these poles are not fixed, and sometimes they flip places. In other words, the geographic North Pole becomes the South Pole and vice versa. Scientists have no idea when this will happen again, but we know that it has happened many times before throughout history. In fact, there's evidence that this process has already begun. In recent years, the magnetic North Pole has been moving rapidly across Canada. When the reversal is complete, Earth's protective shield will be compromised, exposing us to dangerous cosmic radiation. And although this won't cause the end of the world, it will certainly cause problems for us humans. Our telecommunications and navigation systems depend on the magnetic field of the planet. And without them, modern society as we know, it would collapse. But don't worry too much. Studies show that magnetic pole reversals don't usually affect the climate or cause mass extinctions. 7. Moon's distance. The moon rotates the Earth every 27 days, and this will continue to happen for millions of years. However, little by little, the moon will drift farther and farther away from Earth. Scientists believe that in the distant future, the satellite will be so far away that it will no longer be able to influence the tides. Currently, the moon is 363,104 miles from the Earth, and it moves away 1.5 inches every year. That doesn't sound like much, but over millennia, it will make a big difference. In addition, as the moon moves away, the Earth will rotate a bit faster. Right now, the satellite helps the planet keep its rotational speed in check. 6. Earth's rotation. A day on Earth is approximately 24 hours long. This is the average length of a day over billions of years. This has changed multiple times and will continue to change in the future. According to scientists, the length of a day will increase by 6 minutes by the year 3023. This is due to the moon gradually moving away. The only thing that causes Earth to rotate on its axis is inertia. Without the gravitational pull of the moon, the planet would spin much faster. This means that right now, the moon keeps us grounded, literally. And although the change will be barely noticeable in the next 1,000 years, millions of years from now, the length of a day could be much longer than it is now. No. 5. Solar activity. The sun will continue to shine and send light and warmth to our planet for billions more years. But this doesn't mean that the amount of radiation we receive will be constant. The sun goes through natural cycles that affect the amount of energy it sends to Earth. These cycles have different time scales, from 11 years to hundreds of thousands of years. We're currently in a solar maximum, meaning that the sun is sending more energy than usual. But in 2020, it reached a minimum. What does this mean for us? Well, the less energy the sun sends, the colder Earth becomes. But at the same time, solar minimums are also associated with stronger magnetic fields. This means that fewer sunspots and solar flares, which can disrupt important systems on Earth, such as the power grid or communication networks. So you could say that a solar minimum is better for us humans, but a maximum is better for the climate. This is why predicting what will happen in the future is so complicated. Any forecast for the next 1,000 years could be wrong, since it all depends on what the sun decides to do. 4. Asteroid and comet. The Earth flies through a path of cosmic debris all the time. Most of these pieces are so small that they burn up in the atmosphere before reaching the surface. However, some are large enough to reach the ground and leave huge impact craters. One example is the Chelyabinsk meteor that exploded over Russia in 2013. The event was so powerful that it damaged around 7,200 buildings and injured over 1,500 people. Although this was relatively small compared to other impacts in Earth's history, it reminds us that we are constantly at risk. Now, according to NASA, there are no major asteroids that will impact the planet in the next 100 years. However, scientists cannot rule out the possibility that a comet could crash into Earth. This could have devastating consequences. For example, the Chicxulub comet that hit our planet 66 million years ago caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. 3. Atmosphere. The composition of the atmosphere has changed dramatically over billions of years. Volcanic eruptions have been the main cause of this. They've introduced gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen into the sky. In the distant future, volcanic activity could alter the atmosphere again, perhaps making it more hospitable to life. On the other hand, comets and asteroids that crash into Earth could bring gases and organic molecules that contribute to the formation of life. These cosmic events have shaped our planet in the past and will surely do so again in the future. 2. Galaxy movement. The Milky Way is moving through space at 514 miles per second. It will continue moving in this direction and eventually collide with the Andromeda Galaxy. This won't happen for 3.75 billion years, so we're safe. But as time passes, we'll see more and more stars from Andromeda. Eventually, both galaxies will merge and form one giant galaxy. But this is just the beginning of a much longer process. In about 100 billion years, the Milky Way will begin to fall towards the Triangulum Galaxy. 1. Earth's orbit. The Earth travels around the Sun in an elliptical orbit that's tilted 23.5 degrees. This tilt is responsible for the seasons. But this orbit and tilt will change slightly over the next 1,000 years. These shifts are known as Milankovitch cycles and naturally occur over 20,000 years. They lead to major climate shifts that cause ice ages and warm periods. For example, the last glacial period ended around 11,700 years ago, when the Earth's tilt and orbit caused more sunlight to reach the northern hemisphere, melting the ice sheets. Now we're entering another glacial period that will reach its peak around 20,000 years from now. So basically, if you're tired of the heat, you can look forward to a cold future. Or if you hate the cold, you can just move to Antarctica. Just kidding. There won't be any habitable places left by then, because Earth will be completely destroyed. Click here to find out how this will happen.